Hi, and welcome to ZED Connect. Today we're going to be talking about the ELD mandate. No. We're not going to be talking about all the regulations or all the FMCSA stuff that's been talked about at road shows or posted on Twitter or anything like that. No. We've actually are going to make this really simple. Now, this is actually the fourth of 7 videos where we pretty much talk about the most frequently asked questions raised by you. So anything that's been on your mind about the ELD mandate, questions you may have been asking other ELD vendors, customer support teams that you didn't get a clear answer to, or you're still confused, or maybe the question was answered, but you're still not confident in the answer that you got. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about those questions that may be on your mind, but keep in mind that, as I said, this is the fourth of 7 videos that we made available regarding frequently asked questions. So if you haven't had a chance, please go to check out our YouTube channel. So go to ZED Connect's YouTube channel, and we've made a special playlist just for you on these frequently asked questions. It's called ELD FAQ, and it's going to have all 7 videos regarding frequently asked questions regarding the US ELD mandate. But let's get started. So just a quick refresher, as discussed in the prior 3 videos, what is the ELD mandate all about? Why are we doing it? Why as a driver, owner, operator do I have to follow these darn ELD regulations? Well, the first thing is the electronic logging device mandate, effective on December 18, 2017, requires most carriers and drivers to convert from using paper logs or logging software to register ELD if they do not have an AOBRD or automatic onboard recording device in use. And to those drivers using AOBRDs prior to the mandate's effective date, will only be able to keep using them for 2 more years, until December 16th, 2019. It is a mandate that has led to a lot of questions, which we're going to do our best to answer, with the FMCSA continuing to clarify and tweak the regulations over and over the last few months, and now especially weeks. For example, I've got 2 great examples for you guys, and this might be great news for some of you who are listening to this video today. Over the last few days, there is now a rental truck exemption. I know, right? And for those folks who are working in the agriculture industry, based upon certain operations or services that you do, there is now an agriculture exemption that's been released by the FMCSA. So I would highly recommend you guys contact your state's Department of Transportation and confirm what those exemptions are all about, or you can go straight to the horse's mouth and go to the FMCSA's website and find out what they're about. So pretty interesting news over the last few weeks released from FMCSA. But the point of this video is we have worked really hard to find answers to the most common questions that arise from either many sources. The FMCSA's training roadshows, print media, drivers, questions, owner-operators questions that have come in through customer support or even social media, fleet owner questions, and even a lot of social media posts we have reviewed and collated together from either Facebook, Twitter, or even LinkedIn. And the focus with these questions was we just want to make sure it was in a simple to understand format that focused on the basics of the ELD regulations. The first 3 videos talk about several different points. For example, what the ELD mandate was all about, who was exempt from the mandate, and especially what you should look for when it comes to choosing an ELD. But in this video today, we're going to talk about, with regards to the ELD regulations, driver harassment and coercion, and how the ELD regulations ensure that does not happen to you as a driver or owner-operator during driving operations. So let's go get started. Driver harassment and coercion. Per FMCSA, no one will be as directly impacted by the ELD rule as drivers will be. A related rule against driver harassment should also be kept in mind. That rule took effect in January of 2016. The prohibiting coercion of commercial motor vehicle drivers rule specifically forbids motor carriers, shippers, receivers, or transportation intermediaries from coercing CDL or commercial driver license holders to violate certain provisions of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations, FMCSA regulations. The covered regulations include drivers' hours of service limits, commercial driver's license regulations, drug and alcohol testing rules, and hazmat or hazardous materials requirements. The rule also prohibits anyone who operates a commercial motor vehicle or CMV in interstate commerce from coercing a driver to violate the commercial regulations. Very important. If you're a driver or owner-operator watching this video, please pay attention to this video so you're not coerced or harassed by whoever you're working with during driving operations. Very important stuff that we're covering in this video. So the first question, what do I need to know about the harassment provision of the ELD rule? Well, FMCSA defines harassment as an action by a motor carrier towards one of its drivers that the motor carrier knew or should have known would result in the driver violating hours of service rules, per CFR 395. Check it out on the FMCSA's website. These rules prohibit carriers from requiring drivers to drive when their ability or level of alertness is impaired due to fatigue, illness, or other causes that compromise safety. Very important. To be considered harassment, the action must involve information available to the motor carrier through an ELD or other digital technology used in combination with an ELD. Let me phrase this again and stress it importantly. FMCSA explicitly prohibits a motor carrier from harassing a driver. Let me say it again. FMCSA explicitly prohibits a motor carrier from using your ELD data during your driving operations from harassing you, period. Second question, what are the differences between harassment and coercion? Good question. Definitions. A motor carrier can only be found to have committed harassment if the driver commits a specified underlying hours of service violation based on the carrier's actions, and there is a connection to the ELD or electronic logging device. Adverse action against the driver is not required because the driver complied with the carrier's instructions. In contrast, coercion is much broader in terms of entities covered and addresses a threat to withhold work from or take adverse employment action against a driver in order to induce the driver to violate a broader range of regulatory provisions or to take adverse action to punish the driver for the driver's refusal to operate a commercial vehicle in violation of the specified rules. That's a mouthful. In other words, they can't force you to do what you do not want to do because you know better about the hours of service regulations or the ELD mandate regulations. Simple as that. Unlike harassment, coercion does not have to result in the driver being in violation of the regulations. It does not have to involve the use of an ELD. So much broader compared to harassment. What is the difference between an edit and annotation? This relates to the ELD. An edit is a change to an ELD record that does not overwrite the original record, while annotation is a note related to a record, update, or edit that a driver or authorized support personnel may input to the ELD. The CFR per FMCSA 395 requires that all edits, whether made by the driver or the motor carrier, be annotated or commented to document the reason for the change. So if you want a good example as to how edits or annotations are handled within the ELD, definitely check out our YouTube channel, so ZED Connect YouTube, and our product page, so ZED Connect Mobile. We explain how annotations or comments are handled in cases where edits are made by the motor carrier, and how we notify you about those edits and how you can either agree to them or reject them. And finally, a driver can use annotations to indicate the beginning and end of a period, authorized personnel, commercial use, yard moves, as well as other special driving categories such as adverse driving conditions. Once again, check out our ZED Connect YouTube channel and our playlist called ZED Connect Mobile, where we explain all about the different and especially special duty status states such as yard move and personal conveyance and how those are handled within our application, for an example, for an ELD. Next question. Beyond compliance, what are the most important features to consider when evaluating ELDs? Well, once again, it's all about flavor. It comes down to different factors that are relevant to a particular fleet. For example, if your fleet operates with oil field exemptions or under interstate rules, ask your provider if the ELD has rule sets that make compliance easier in those situations. You also may want to look to see how ELD interfaces with different fleet management systems that you use. And beyond making sure the solution is on the self-certified FMCSA vendor list, you as a company that's about to be required to be compliant per ELD mandate, check to see how the customer services. What type of maintenance support do they offer? Pretty self-explanatory. Next question. Who can edit an ELD record? Both the driver and authorized carrier staff can make limited edits to an ELD record to correct mistakes or add missing information. All edits, as noted before, must have an annotation or comment to explain the reason for the edit. And the driver has to certify that the edit is accurate and resubmit it and recertify that record for the day. If the driver chooses not to recertify the change, this is also reflected in the ELD. So the ELD has to keep the original, the unedited record, along with the edited record. In addition, although the ELD reflects the driver's record duty status, or RODS, the driver and carrier share responsibility for the integrity of the records. The driver certification is intended in part to protect drivers from coercion or unilateral changes. However, if the driver is unavailable or unwilling to recertify the record, the carrier's proposed edits and annotation would remain part of the record. So very important there. Next question. Can a user edit or change driving time that has been recorded by an ELD to non-driving time? Very good question. And asked in many forums. And the answer is simply no. Let me say it again. No. You cannot edit driving time where there has been associated vehicle data that has been electronically acquired. Period. There's a case where you may be able to edit manually created driving time where there is no vehicle data or in-motion data associated with it. But if you are currently driving above 5 miles per hour per the FMCSA's regulations, and your duty status says driving on your ELD, and you're in motion and you collected in-motion data that says that you're in motion above 5 miles per hour, you cannot edit that time, period. So definitely, capital N, capital O, cannot edit electronically created driving time, period. Next question, and our last question. How can drivers use annotation of their logs to help clear up potential confusion in certain situations? Well, any instance where an exception to regulations is being used, or when a driver goes over hours of service limit, should be accompanied by an annotation or comment. Pretty straightforward. And that is pretty much it. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video today. We hope that this is able to add to your knowledge of and understanding of the US ELD mandate regulations that are going to be live for all drivers and owner operators starting December 18th. But especially we want to give a big shout out and thank you to the references that we used during this video. There are several available, but we really focus on these three. The first, and a very big and hearty thank you to the FMCSA, or the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and the many question and answer sessions that they offer to drivers and owner operators and enthusiasts and market researchers who just wanted to understand more about what the ELD mandate was all about and how they could easily be compliant and answer any questions that were on their mind. These occurred at several different truck shows during seminars and also separate road shows as well. A second big thank you goes out to the Indiana State Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division and the many Facebook Live videos that are provided from a roadside inspection officer's perspective of the ELD mandate. And especially these are done by Officer Brent Hoover. If you guys have not had a chance, please go to Facebook, check out his Facebook Live videos. A lot of questions posted, very active. It made very light, very serious topic, but it was very informative from a roadside inspection officer's perspective. And finally, truckinginfo.com. On their site, they recently released a very comprehensive index of questions that were posted by drivers and came from different resources. They talked to many different ELD vendors and experts in regulations, and also FMCSA themselves to provide answers to help you as well, to help you make sure that you're as knowledgeable as possible. And that is pretty much it. We hope that this video was able to help you understand more with regards to driver, how to prevent harassment by the use of ELD data. Keep in mind, this was the 4th of 7 videos that we've made available on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't had a chance, please go to ZED Connect's YouTube channel and check out the playlist called ELD FAQ. So if you want to binge watch or binge listen while you're driving during your shifts during a very busy holiday season, definitely check it out, because we here at ZED Connect want to make sure that you are the most knowledgeable and, more importantly, ensure that you are confident that you are compliant per the ELD regulations and mandate when it goes live when you're on the road on December 18th during this holiday season. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for your time. And as always, please, please, please be safe during this holiday season. Thank you.